Hi there, it's Sarah from Ruffles and Rainboots.com, and today I'm going to teach you how to make a sun catcher. I'm going to teach you how to design one. I'm going to teach you how to set up your settings and cut and assemble for a diode or CO2 laser. If you are new to my channel, I don't like a lot of fluff in videos. That means I tend to go quickly. So if you want, go to your settings, and anything above normal in your playback speed will be slower. Anything below it will be faster. So for those of you who want to just skip to the settings and the cut and the assembly, go to 6 minutes. For everyone else, go ahead and grab an SVG of any kind, and you're going to input it at the size. You are going to adjust it any way you would like. We need circles, or we need any other shape you would like that your vector can touch on the edges. So you can see I'm going to create a circle, copy it, and create another circle just bigger than it. I'm going to lock in the layers panel my vector so that I can only mess around with my circles for a second. So I'm going to select both those circles, go over to the object menu, and horizontally center and vertically center those two circles. Now, don't worry about the size of our entire piece yet. We're really just working on creating everything. We're going to put these on two different layers and change both to engrave. If you are new, it's the easiest way to see what this button does. Combine, unite, subtract, or combine and subtract. That cuts that center out. So now we're going to work on the vector. This vector is one I purchased. I went to edit nodes and we're going to change it to cut, not engrave. I'm going to mess with this quite a bit, and I edited a lot of that out because every design is going to be different, but I'm selecting these three nodes and using my arrow keys to adjust. I do this for the entire turtle. So you'll see me, whatever I do on the right, I do a repeat of on the left. Now, you can change it to engrave to see where your joins are going to be, how thick your joins are going to be. And you can even adjust the actual center of the design like I do. I don't like all of the holes. I want the turtle's head to be more pronounced. All of this is just working in that node management on the objects menu. Again, you can delete anything you want. This is your design. So I'm going to create a cut circle that is the same exact size as my piece here. I'm just going to put those on red because red is cut to me, and I'm going to change and make sure the processing type is cut. Now, we have no hanger here, but I want to talk about design. You can have a two-piece with one piece of flex and one piece of acrylic or wood, or you can have a three-piece design, which means that you have two of the actual design, this piece. Your choice. We're going to get to that in a second, but just want to throw it out there. So I'm sizing both of these to 6 inches, and now I'm going to create my hanger. I'm going to use circles, but again, you can use squares, you can use diamonds, whatever you want. You're just going to create a circle about between like maybe like 0.4 of an inch and 0.6 of an inch. Like it's going to be fairly large for a piece of twine or a suction cup hook to go through. And you're just going to create that. I hate the centering of this. Look at that. It's not even and it drives me bananas. So I'm going to create the turtle on an angle. That looks better. Now I'm not so angry. I'm going to center them horizontally again just to make sure I didn't move anything, and I'm happy. I'm going to copy and paste that, and I'm going to make this outer circle just a little bit bigger. Again, this is going to be dependent upon your design. Just make sure you don't have some thin, tiny little join, because this is how the whole thing stays together. You're going to take those two circles horizontally and vertically align them. You can see I hated that because it was so thin, so I'm going to start adjusting. Make the little inside circle smaller, and the big one bigger, but not 5. We want 0.75, Sarah. There we go. Again, a little horizontal and vertical centering. I'm happy with that. So now I'm going to put it into position. We want a good bit of overlap. We're going to just see how things look with engrave. Be sure to change those back to cut. And now we're just going to combine it with our turtle. So we take, unlock the turtle. We take this whole thing here and we go to the combine menu and oh, I'm just making sure it's centered again. And then we're going to go to the combine menu, which is over on the object side. So you're going to select all three of these pieces. Okay. And then you're going to go to under the combine, unite, that first one. And there we are. Now, you should have made a copy of the little hanger piece. It's a little easier, but if you remember your settings, you can just repeat it, which is what I'm going to do. So I am going to copy this because I want a 3-piece design. So I'm going to have 2 pieces of this cut out of wood. So just copy and paste. And then I'm going to go over to the mirror menu, which is, I think, all the way to the right. And you're just going to say mirror horizontally. You're flipping it so it's a mirror image. All right, so now I need to make that hanger for my flex piece. You do not have to have a hanger on the flex piece. That is 100% your choice. So I just made it the same exact, positioned it the same exact. If you want to test, if you have made everything correctly and it lines up, set everything into engrave, horizontally and vertically align it. And if there are no gaps or anything, you did perfectly. Good job, you. But be sure to change everything back to cut. Now I'm going to save it because, oh my goodness, that was a lot of work. I'm going to show you there are flex settings for a Glowforge 45 watt. We don't use that. I'm just going to tell you, don't do this, okay? It's not going to work on your P2. Sure, it won't work on your S1. So on the flex for the P2, between 10 and 15 power and 20 and 40 speed always work. If you want to go down to 10, you can. For the S1, 100, 4, and 1 pass. You're great. Now, for this, I have a pre-made plywood setting, but you can see I'm dropping it down to 13 because I have a lot of glue in this set. The flex has to be turned off, which means we turn the output to 0 and we're ready to prep material. If you've never seen flex before, it's really cool. It's really bendy. It's got a shiny side and it's got a dull side. If you have a diode laser, you're going to cut shiny side up and you will mask shiny side up. If you are a CO2, you will cut dull dull side up and you will mask shiny side. So you can see I'm using a P2 today, so I'm going to mask the shiny side but flip it upside down to cut. Now for the wood, you can use 3M's 300 SLE. I think it's overkill, so I'm going to use 467 MP. You can get this in sheets, you can get this in rolls, and I don't know where my 12 inches, so I'm using 6. I do measure the material with calipers in millimeters before I put the masking on. You can use 6-inch or 12-inch masking. This is from Tape Man Blue on Amazon. Just make sure you see those little squiggles in the middle, get those out by using a scraper, and you're set. That's great. Because you're watching, I'm going to cut this off. But normally I don't. I'm just going to load it in the machine. Speaking of the machine, you can see I'll use the P2 for this. So I'm going to go ahead and connect it. It's in the center of our workspace in the XCS 2.0. I'm going to load my material, level it, and make sure I pin it down. Once the image is refreshed, I'm going to move my wood into the center. I'm going to either input my thickness, which is what I did, or you can auto measure. I use the close-up cameras to make sure I'm not going to be off of my material or on the slat edge. And then guess what? We just hit process. Now, XCS 2.0 will give you an unbelievably accurate estimate. So we hit start in the software, start on the machine, and here we are. This is at speed. I was very happy with how this one came out. I'm so glad I knocked down my preset after testing just because this is a little bit chunky. So now it's time just to load in our flex. Again, I'm using a CO2, so I go shiny side down. Make sure to pin it, and when it refreshes, what you have to do is set the wood pieces to no output. So you just turn that off, and then you're going to position your flex, and remember to turn it on, output. So you already have your settings in. We hit start, we hit process, or on the machine, and then look, there we go, we're done. Look how quick that is. It literally takes 25 seconds. So on this side, I have the masking on the dull side. For those who are using diode, you are gonna have a little cloudy, maybe looking like a burnt edge. I don't know if you can see it. The P2 will not have that. If you're using a diode, don't fret. It's gonna be covered up by wood. No one's gonna see it anyway. So now I'm just going to pop this out, wipe my big edges here just to see if I have any soot, and I don't. That's great. I'm going to remove the masking from both of these. And I do see on this one, look, on this one here, you see down here and up here on this little flipper. So I'm going to get 220 grit sanding sponge and just lightly grab that. Look at it's clean. Yay for us. Now I'm going to, okay, I just blew it off. Anyway, you want to get the dust off before you seal it. I'm using just a spray sealant. Now, on the back, we have 3M on both of those wood pieces. We have to remove the masking from the flex before we remove the cover from the 3M. Go slowly, it's easy. You can use Gorilla Tape to get the teeny tiny pieces. So this is the hardest part. Just line it all up and then flip it over and do it again. That's it. So once you have it lined up, you're going to clamp. Don't tell me you don't clamp. If you ever have 3M fail, most likely it's because you didn't clamp it. Just this is the easy way not to damage anything, and it's pretty underneath the lights. So now that that's done, all you have to do is just stick it on a wall, or like this, my back patio. This is undercover, so on a gray day, like it's very, very pretty. I gave it to my mom. I hope she loves it. Be sure to subscribe for more crafts here on the channel. I appreciate you being here.